Welcome. My name is James Snyder, and I'm director of the Marist College Honors Program. We are gathered here this afternoon to celebrate the academic achievements of the 108 students graduating from the honors program today. Our graduates have all successfully completed an academic curriculum that is broader, deeper, and more complex. As honors students, they took seminars that sought answers to enduring questions about the nature of reality and humanity's place in it. They also considered some of the most pressing social, political, and environmental challenges we face today. Each of our graduates has completed a signature thesis project under the direct supervision of a faculty mentor. These projects ranged in topic from a study of the use of neural networks to recommend music to analyzing burnout among Division I athletes. Still others wrote novels, books of poetry, and memoirs. All of these projects are intellectual achievements in their own right, and in the process of completing them, our graduates built lifelong relationships with faculty members at Marist. From antiquity to today, philosophers have framed the value of knowledge in two largely opposing ways. Aristotle argued that knowledge is valuable for its own sake, and that truth helps us thrive and achieve greatness of soul. René Descartes, on the contrary, believed that knowledge should be practical and primarily used to control the world for our own material benefit. Our honors graduates defy easy stereotypes of high-achieving students. They blend the best of both the speculative and practical approaches to knowledge of both Aristotle and Descartes. In addition to strong academics, they were leaders in the Marist community. They dedicated themselves to campus organizations, to projects that increased equality, inclusion, and human expression. Along the way, they also studied abroad, played critical leadership roles on Division I teams, and completed competitive internships and undergraduate research fellowships. This is the strongest academic group we've ever graduated from honors, and this is also the largest class in our program's history. Many of the students seated before you are going on to top graduate programs, and others are poised to start exciting and impactful careers in industry. It is hard to believe that 4 years have passed since we welcomed this class to Marist. I vividly recall meeting many of you the morning you moved into honors housing in Champagne Hall. It was hot, and climbing 8 flights of stairs was arduous. And to think that was just the start of your academic career. Advising, mentoring, and challenging you has truly been the highlight of my career, and I've come to appreciate that this work is the fullest expression and embodiment of my profession. In that spirit, I congratulate you and thank you for enriching our program and the intellectual and cultural life of our college. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Thomas Wermuth, the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, who will address the Honors Program class of 2019. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome. And let me start off also by congratulating the students here today who will be graduating, commencing tomorrow in what promises to be a beautiful morning overlooking the Hudson. But these students, over the last 4 years, of course, have done an incredible amount of thinking, reading, debating in classes, work in labs and colloquiums, writing papers, late nights in the library, all of the things that go into an educational experience, and some other things as well, and are here at the point of graduating with honors, which is in and of itself a great achievement. Now, just a couple of things I wanted to point out. 4 years ago, when the students here that are being honored applied or accepted to Marist, they were accepted into a rigorous academic program in which they knew they were going to have to read a lot, think hard, debate over questions, and so forth, which they agreed to. Then they were given the opportunity to join a program, the honors program, which was going to demand even more of that. Smaller classes, so it was going to be harder to hide, that great type of educational experience. They knew they were going to have to write more, think more critically, speak more articulately, and actually achieve very high experience and grades within their honors classes. The fact that these students are here today proves that, in fact, they accomplished that and did so successfully. Now, they did so in an honors program which is a little unique. There are different types of honors programs around the country. There are some honors programs which are entirely within the major. So let's say a student in computer science will do honors in computer science, and that is their honors program in their major that they've chosen that they know very well and comfortable in. And there are schools that have that type of experience. Marist used to have actually an honors program like that. There are other honors programs in schools in which it's primarily general education. It's all within the traditional arts and sciences. Really, it doesn't lead up to the major. The major is kind of left out of it. Marist also had that in my time here at the college. That was another experience. But about 5 or 6 years ago, we introduced a new honors program. And what it was attempting to do, and does, and what these students have successfully achieved, is it blended those two things. On the one hand, it started in the general education, the arts and sciences, and the core. So students, right from their very first semester when they came to Marist, they were taking honors programs and honors courses in math and science and in history and philosophy and things along these lines. Generally, these would be courses that would be outside their academic major, outside the area perhaps that they felt most comfortable in and that they were strongest in. However, by their second, third year, this started to transition, would cascade up, moving from the knowledge, skills, and values that you generate as a first or second year student in the general core, and start to blend into their major when they start to do the honors by contract, honors thesis, and now they're working with professors within their major, building on that educational experience from those first few years. We think this has created really the most effective educational experience for our students because it connects the entire educational experience into a larger portfolio, and we do think that that has been very successful. Now, in addition to, although these are the students who did all the work that I described which got them there, ultimately the A's and A minuses and B pluses, and by and large, those are the grades that these students got across the board over their 4 years. That was done by them. Again, they were the ones ultimately taking the test, giving the presentations. However, there are other groups that I know that they would also like to thank, and I just want to take a moment to thank as well. They weren't in correspondence courses. They were working with faculty. And the faculty who are represented here that worked in the honors program mentored these students, worked with the honors by contract on the thesis, worked collaboratively with them, sponsored their research. The faculty take great pride in the honors program and the honors students that they worked with, and I know that is vice versa. The other group which needs to be thanked, of course, is, and I'm going to turn to them, is everyone that's out here, right? What we have here, as I've said at earlier ceremonies today, we have parents of honor students, moms and dads, we have grandparents, uncles and aunts, siblings. I've met friends of honor students here. All of these folks, ultimately, John Donne wrote back in the 17th century, no man is an island, right? And tyrant upon himself. Obviously, that would be updated in terms of gender for the 21st century. But the idea is true. Whether you call it that or it takes a village, whatever it happens to be, rarely does any one person, even these students, ultimately do everything necessary in order to succeed. They rely on a larger support system. Sometimes it's an emotional system, sometimes it's an academic one, sometimes it's financial, and sometimes it's all of those things, and it spreads in a network beyond family into friends as well. So we should just take a moment and recognize all of the hard work that these folks out here did, and the great joy that they have in watching you being honored today. So congratulations all around. Now, it's my privilege to introduce the 2019 Honors Ceremony keynote speaker, Marist alum Lauren Hall. Now, while at Marist, Lauren majored in psychology and English. She was a member of the Literary Arts Society. She studied abroad in South Africa, played lacrosse, and of course was a member of the honors program. After graduating from Marist, she has continued her education and earned 2 master's degrees. One in public administration from Indiana University, and the second in education from Marian University. No relation to Marist College, although a former name of Marist College. Also after graduation, she worked for Teach for America, and then she co-founded and served as executive director of Indie Pulse, a spoken word poetry in the schools to support youth in Indianapolis. She now serves as the manager of corporate and foundation relations at Teach for America. Please join me in welcoming back to Marist, Lauren Hall.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome, Dr. Snyder, Dr. Wormuth. I am so excited to be back on campus. I am so excited to be with all of you, and just really grateful for all of the people who have invested in you. And I hope that I can do the same today. So, congratulations, class of 2019. You successfully completed an important, for many of you, final stage in your academic career. This next phase of life will ask you to increase your independence. You will, if you don't already, pay your rent, do your own taxes, hold down a full-time job. This form of independence is necessary and good. It is what your family, friends, and this wonderful institution and its incredible honors program has cultivated you to do. However, I will spend the next few minutes trying to convince you why independence should not alone be your focus, but rather you should strive beyond for interdependence. In 3 life-defining moments, I chose interdependence and thus expanded my impact, deepened the meaning in my life, and I hope, in some small way, contributed to the liberty and happiness that each of us deserves to enjoy. So what do I mean by interdependence? I do not mean that you should focus on finding your Romeo or Juliet and hitch your wagon to their starry eyes and forget about the rest of us. We know how things ended for those love-struck preteens. Not well. Instead, the interdependence I'm referring to is civically, socially, and spiritually minded. I am urging you, achievement-oriented honor students, to strive for a level of interdependence that acknowledges our shared future and that whatever affects one of us affects all of us, even if indirectly. My first choice to choose interdependence occurred the year after I graduated from Marist. Knowing that human potential is ubiquitous in America, yet access to a high-quality K-12 education is not, I sought to serve our nation's highest ideal of equal opportunity. I decided to teach in an under-resourced school. That first year was hard, incredibly hard. I was one of few white teachers among a staff and student population almost entirely people of color. Though I had built relationships across lines of difference before, this challenge was new and distinct. I was a white woman, presumed as wealthy, and perceived, correctly, as deeply naive about the complexity of challenges students faced while living in a high-poverty, food desert, murder hotspot. 5 weeks in, and my co-teacher, Mrs. Brooks, an African-American or Black female who taught in the school for 3 years and who saw the students as her own children, was livid with me. To this day, I'm not sure what caused our heated conversation, but I remember that an accumulation of misunderstandings and frustrations had built up over time. The tone and volume of our conversation was such that another teacher came into our classroom and sent us to another. We went. Within seconds, Mrs. Brooks locked eyes with me, and with what felt like decades of righteous indignation towards privileged, wannabe white saviors who had swept into and swiftly out of her community, demanded, if you're going to leave, leave now. I was taken aback. Mrs. Brooks knew nothing of the resilience, skill, and commitment I had demonstrated in the academic, physical, and civic accomplishments I had earned. She had no idea that while at Marist, I had worked for 4 years in low-income schools in Poughkeepsie, served as a program director for a college readiness program, played in the NCAA Sweet 16, become the inaugural Joan and Jonah Sherman Scholarship recipient for my outstanding civic leadership, studied abroad in South Africa, led within the Literary Arts Society and on the debate team, and even worked on Broadway. And quite frankly, perhaps none of that would have mattered to her. It might have further convinced her that I was ill fit for this job. What did I know about being poor, of color, and living in a community that had been systemically disenfranchised and underappreciated for generations? Mrs. Brooks was saying what the Australian Aboriginal activist Lilla Watson had stated years before to people not automatically perceived as part of her we. If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. In response to Mrs. Brooks, I could have chosen a false narrative of independence. I could have pretended that my students' access to lives of their choosing didn't affect them, their communities, nor the overall health of our city, state, and nation. I could have, in that moment, chosen to let her causticness push me away. But instead, I chose interdependence. I said, and more importantly worked to prove, that we could build together, and so we did. Our students grew immensely, academically and holistically. They were not perfect, nor were we, but we endured and overcame and went on learning together. My second life-defining moment occurred a year later, when I continued expanding my network of builders and my sense of we. Still a teacher, I realized my students needed and deserved more than what limited school hours and mandated learning objectives could provide. They, like their more economically privileged peers, deserve the opportunity to cultivate and strengthen their voice, leadership, and systems-level understanding so that they could orient to the powers at work in our society and garner the efficacy to play a role in influencing them. I called upon three racially, economically, and religiously diverse fellow educators with drastically different experiences and skill sets who believed deeply that their students, and all students, deserve the same. Together, we started a grassroots social innovation organization to provide what our students need and deserve. For 4 years, we served our students and our mission and became close, lifelong friends. And then my co-founders were called away. One went to law school at Notre Dame, the other to a promising job in Atlanta, and the other to his fiancée in Boston and a Harvard graduate degree. This was my third and final choice. I could let our organization become an act of conviction subverted by ego and independence, or I could choose interdependence. I chose the latter. I sought out a new and deepening relationship with another local nonprofit executive director. Her experience as a juvenile justice probation officer had led her to launch an organization for reasons similar to ours. Her students needed and deserved more than what was traditionally offered. Our organizations collaborated on a small scale at first and ultimately merged a couple of years ago. In all, we have served over 1,500 youth from low-income backgrounds who have, because of their brilliance and our support, won international writing and performance competitions, advocated for education and criminal justice reform, trained hundreds of justice workers, educators, and other professionals in culturally responsive best practices. Our students have chosen meaningful, connective lives that will help better futures and build better communities. You have been building your future and your community here. The Marist College Honors Program has been purposeful in offering you the academic, social, and cultural experiences for you to build community. Hopefully, this has helped you create a sense of interdependence amongst yourselves. This is important. Hold on to this network. Call upon it, contribute to it, and be strengthened by it. In this all too fractured, unstable time we find ourselves in, of deep political divides that we have seen and worked to heal before, I encourage you to create a sense of interdependence with others. particularly with those who do not share your background, experiences, privileges, and blessings. This is not just what society needs, but also it is what you need to manifest your greatest potential and to live a truly meaningful, one might even say successful, life. Know that in the days ahead, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, there will be someone who does not, for whatever reason, fully trust you. They will question your motives, be suspect of your long-term goals, and have little understanding for why they should perceive you otherwise. Choose to find the interdependence between yourself and the other. Leverage it, lean on it, and let it bring greater liberty, equity, and light to our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, for your inspiring address. Now we will present our graduates with their honors program medals. Each medal is engraved with our graduates' names, as well as our program's seal and motto, Cum optimis litigare, or to struggle with the best. Dr. Kevin Lerner, Assistant Professor of Communications, will read the names of students graduating from honors from the School of Communications and the Arts.
Thank you, James. The School of Communication at the Arts at Marist College really exemplifies those ideals that Dr. Wormuth and Dr. Snyder were talking about earlier. The students on stage here from the School of Communication and the Arts, they want to be artists, designers, both of video games and fashion, technicians, filmmakers, communicators, and musicians, though none of them major in it here. But all of these pre-professional aspirations are built on the foundation of the liberal arts, that solid understanding of the world around them that means they are not just going to be going out to get a job. They're going out to become leaders and innovators in their field. And so it is really my honor to be able to read their names. And so let's do that.
Here we go.
Okay. All right. Taylor Albert. Tess Alperin. Caroline Arnaud. Caroline Chan. Peggy Chang. Nicole Darko. Troy Demers. Liana Frasca. Samantha Hesler. Alyssa Hurlbut. Tara James. Tara Kinsella. Brianna Paganini. Megan Roach. Jenna Wolf. Stephanie Yost. Rebecca Juo. Now, Dr. Alan Levasseur will present the medals to students graduating from the School of Computer Science and Mathematics.
Hello, everybody. What can we say about the School of Computer Science and Mathematics? Well, I can say a few things. I'll try anyway. It's almost indescribable how proud we are of these students, these honor students. There's a tremendous amount of diverse topics within our school. It's not just computer science and mathematics. It's mathematics applied to various different fields, including education. It's computer science applied to data science and game design. It's information systems and design. It's information and technology and cybersecurity. And it's a bunch of mixtures of those things. And these students have put together and just performed so well an amazing array of projects. It boggles my mind. Everything from underwater acoustics to what can best be described as financial acoustics and volatility models, machine learning for cookies. I'm not kidding, they were delicious. Blockchain, of course, and big data analytics and Renaissance philosophy. It's just an amazing wide range, and it is indeed my honor to read the names of these honor students. Let's start with Michelle Bartolo. Catherine Bartolotta. Tad Bindis. Victoria Fetzer. Monica Findlay. Stephen Gardner. Michael Johnson. Philip Kerwin. Phelan Cook. G. Leaden. Janine Lim. Brandon Litwin. Jeffrey Lupia. Evan Mastriano. Raymond Mattingly. Evan McElhaney. Julianne Negron. Mackenzie O'Brien. Jillian Priest. Michael Reed. Jessica Rieger. Claudia Rojas. Max Shemich. Christopher Slapich. Michael Sirico. And finally, Marcus Zimmerman. Congratulations to you all. Dr. Mary Stone will now present the students graduating from the School of Liberal Arts.
Jillian Broddick. Teresa Carcaldi. Aaliyah Davis. Gerard Foley. Elizabeth Garrison. Taylor Hamilton. Kevin Hudson. Kathleen Larkin. Anna McClear. Catherine McKinley. Michael Pipko. Lucan Sanchez. Daniel Scucciarino. Christopher Stroud. Elena Teslick. James Wolfe. Dr. Christy Caridi will now present the medals to students graduating from the School of Management.
Good afternoon. A couple of quick words. I want to say thank you to all the students. It's been a pleasure having you in class, and I want to thank everyone here who have supported them throughout their life, because these are wonderful women and young women and men that are going to go out into the world and make Marist proud and make us all proud. Eamon Beers. Brittany Colatosi. Maximilian Darrington. Sean Durkins. Matthew Gangaze. Andrea Kaplan. Bridget Kelly. Colleen Kelly. Daniela Lorente. Brandon Machida. Matthew Marati. Daniela Morris. Jill Nixon. Megan O'Brien. Morgan O'Kine. Ellen Rath. Pratik Samal. Kayla Smith. Taylor Van de Beesen. Mary Vanjie. Lauren Vecchio. Yihang Wong. Congratulations.
Oh, we missed you.
They're not here. Okay, what did I miss?
Karen.
Okay.
Karen Durrells, there you go.
Okay, Karen Durrells, I apologize, my... I apparently need new glasses. Gabriella Landicino. Okay, I obviously need new glasses. Now, Dr. Paula Checki will now be presenting the medals to the students graduating from the School of Science.
Thank you. So it's an honor for me to introduce the graduates from the School of Science, and I was deciding what I wanted to say about them. And all of them are far too humble to speak about their own accomplishments, so I reached out and asked them to share what they had to say about each other. And my inbox was shortly filled with an outpouring of praises. They described each other as selfless, encouraging, a phenomenal speaker, so smart yet incredibly humble, a dedicated athlete, a beast on and off the field, musically talented, witty, funny, wildly successful, compassionate, poised, and elegant, a gifted artist, sweet, kind-hearted, charismatic. They are dedicated leaders, they're volunteers, they have fun, bubbly personalities, and they have an amazing fashion sense. And the list continued on, but I have limited time here to say, so suffice to say that their words speak volumes about their character, and I thank them for letting me be a part of their lives. And so to introduce the School of Science candidates, the first is Gianna Figueroa. Riley Hughes. Colin Evich. Stephanie Camel. Megan Clem. Megan Nickel. Erica Rosenkrantz. Ariana Singer. Maria Valenti. Jenna Benadia. Haley Wagner. And Rebecca Yunker. Congratulations, and Dr. Daria Hansen will now present the medals to students graduating from the School of Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to congratulate not just the honors students, but the families and friends that are here today. So, if your ambition, your intelligence, and the sacrifices that all of you have made that have earned you this achievement. You are stars in the making, and I hope you'll just keep on rising. So, my first candidate is Francesco Amadeo. Margaret Caulfield. Jonathan Ferris. Brittany Hampton. Cassandra Jabe. Catherine Kilcullen. Anthony Liberti. Megan Meredith. Caden Mohammed. Noel Santelli Snyder. And finally, Anna Marie Velasquez. And now Gianna Figueroa will perform Have It All by Jason Mraz.
May you be treated with extreme, yes, may not correct. Sorry. May be the best of your tomorrows. Whoa. May the road that's paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. So here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always leave with that beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get the rest and you catch your breath. May the best of your days be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. May the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. So here's the good times you're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it. Oh, I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. May you fascinating flat breaks the leg. May you keep the chaos in the clutter of your desk. May you have a questionable, have a less stress. Having no possession to immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guess is always correct. And may you win prizes at tiny diamonds. May you really own each moment to the next. May the best of your days be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the heart that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. Oh, I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Oh, I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. No matter what your path is, if you believe in anything can happen, go, go, go. Raise glasses, go, go, go. You can have it. Oh, well, here's to the lives you're gonna change. Here's to the possible. Here's to the good times that you. Oh, I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. Here's to you always making me laugh. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Gigi. Congratulations to our honors program class of 2019. Would the students graduating from the School of Communications and the Arts please stand? Please help me give them a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. School of Liberal Arts. School of Computer Science and Mathematics. Thank you. School of Science. Congratulations. School of Social and Behavioral Sciences, please. Thank you very much. Before we conclude our ceremony, I would like to specially... Oh my gosh. School of Management, please. One of the biggest groups. Thank you. Thank you, School of Management. I apologize. Before we conclude our ceremony, I would like to specially recognize some students on stage. First, would Aaliyah Davis and Evan Mastriano please stand? Aaliyah and Evan served as resident assistants in our honors program housing communities. Please help me thank them for their hard work and dedication to our program and its students. Next, I invite Megan Nickel and Elena Teslick to stand. Megan and Elena completed thesis projects that the Honors Council believes are worthy of special recognition. They're both earning the Distinguished Thesis Award for their research this year. Congratulations. Next, would Francesco, Stephen, and Kathleen please stand? Francesco and Stephen are members of the Marist ROTC program, and they will begin their service to the United States Army upon graduation. And Kathleen, during her time at Marist, she joined the Air Force and took a semester off to do that. So let's congratulate her as well. Finally, I would like to ask our students to thank all the parents, guardians, and mentors who are here today. Without you, none of this would be possible. That concludes our festivities today. Please join us for a reception in the river rooms across the hall. Thank you, and congratulations to our graduates.